Are you working the number one documented lead source in real estate sales? What is going on, guys? My name is Chris Elliott, team leader of the Elliott Real Estate team based out of Glen Island, Virginia. Today, what we're going to be talking about is I'm posing the question to you, are you working the number one lead source? So according to the National Association of Realtors Profile of Buyers and Sellers, which is put out every single year, in 2022, 50% of home buyers worked with an agent that was either a referral from a friend, family member, coworker, or an agent they had worked with previously. 63% of sellers work with an agent that was a referral from a friend, family member, coworker, or an agent that they had worked with previously. I went to public school, but I still know that if a number is 50% or more, that means it was the greatest lead source out there. Also, Tom Ferry, love him or hate him, says one thing at every single event that he does that makes me cringe every time because we're just simply not there. We're getting there, but we're not there quite yet, is that you should be receiving a 10% return from your database. So meaning for every 10 people that you have in your database, your past clients in your sphere of influence, you should be getting one transaction from every 10 people you have in there every year, meaning if you have 1,000 people in your database, you should be getting a derivative of 100 transactions from your database. And if you're like me, you probably think about that and realize, I am certainly not getting that. But that being said, I'm proud to say that about half of our business year to date is coming from our database. So what I want to do for you guys is provide to you just a simple crash course, share with you what we are doing to love on, nurture, to communicate, market to our database. Maybe you can take something from this, maybe you can't. Either way, I'm going to share it with you. All right. So in working our database, the number one lead source, the first thing that we have to do is we have to document our database. So we have to write down either on a spreadsheet, on a legal pad, on a Word document, however you want to do it, everyone that you've ever worked with, gone to school with, played ball with, vendors you use, and on and on and on. Use a memory jogger if you need to. Tom Ferry's got a great one. There's other memory joggers out there that just ask you a series of questions to think of all the people that you have in your life, in your database, everybody that's in your contacts in your phone, because all people are leads, all leads are people. So we want to go ahead and document these folks. Ideally, we want to find their name. We want to find their email address. We want to connect with them on social. I'm getting ahead of myself, though. So we want to document those folks. Ideally, you have a CRM system that you can put those people into because that's going to make it much easier to communicate with these people. I personally use Sierra Interactive. There's other great CRMs out there, Follow Up Boss, KV Core. There's a ton of these out there. You just want to pick one that you're going to be able to learn and utilize on a regular basis. The exact CRM that you use is not important. We want to get those folks into a CRM. From there, we've got to communicate with this database on a regular, frequent basis so that when they think of real estate, they think of you as their real estate agent, as a real estate professional of choice. So here's our plan. So every single 90 days, we are going to do a personal reach out to everybody in the database. So that could be a call, that could be a text, that could be a DM, that could be an in-person coffee meeting. We're going out for a drink. Depends on the person, depends on your schedule, depends on your style, right? But we want to have some type of personal reach out where we're interacting, two-way communication with this, with that lead in the database, or with that person in the database, I should say. From there, we're going to look at email. So ideally, we want to have them on a monthly market update email for their specific area. If they are a homeowner, which most of your CRMs can do that. If they are not a homeowner and they're just looking or they're renting right now, even if there's somebody that just likes to look at homes, you're going to want to also set them up on an e-alert so that they can see when new inventory hits the market. Okay, just very simple, because the cool thing about that e-alert is it's going to have your name, your face on every single one of those emails. Okay, if we want to get a little more advanced, you can do a weekly email newsletter. We've had a lot of success out of our weekly email newsletter, which is simply a content roll-up. So a roll-up of all the content that we've released for that week in a simple email newsletter. And then we put in a blog article that we get from Keeping Current Matters, which runs you about $30 a month for that subscription. But you can utilize their content to make yourself look like a smarty pants real estate agent that knows what's going on and intelligently explain what's going on in the real estate market. And then I would also encourage you to shoot a monthly market update video yourself. So another benefit of that KCM subscription, which I'm not a paid affiliate just yet, but for 30 bucks a month, you can watch their monthly market report, which is going to educate yourself about what's going on in the real estate market. And then you can basically regurgitate that information on a video like this, upload it to YouTube, and then simply send that out to your email database so that they are viewing you as the knowledge broker, as the real estate agent that knows what's going on and can explain to them what's going on in the real estate market. So that's our email campaign. Next, we're going to move on to social media. So for social media, we're going to go ahead and connect with these folks on every single platform, be it, and really Instagram and Facebook are the big two. You might be saying, hey, look, Instagram's kind of my jam. That's where all my people are. I would encourage you not to forget about Facebook, even though that might be a little bit of an older crowd. The reality is the older crowd are the ones that own all the homes, and listings are the name of the game. So don't forget about Facebook. Don't forget to connect with these people there. You're also going to want to connect your Instagram and your Facebook account so that when you post to one, it carries over to the other, which is going to make sure that you get your content in front of everybody and just save you the time of having to post on both apps. So once we've got that connected, once we're connected with all these people, we want to post regularly, both our personal lives as well as our work. But here's the one that everybody always forgets. We want to like and comment on our database's stuff, not just post ours, right? So it's the old adage, be interested as opposed to interesting. So you want to take more interest in the people in your database, pay them attention, like their posts, comment on their posts, ask questions, shoot them DMs, interact with them, put the social back in social media, okay? And then also what we want to do on social media, and this is getting a little advanced, you want to then take that database, export it out of your CRM, load it up into Google Ads Manager, load it up into the Meta Ads Manager, Facebook, Instagram, and we want to run targeted ads to our database, repurposing our content. So we're going to take that monthly market update and we're going to run a retargeting ad to our database to make sure that they are actually seeing our stuff. Because if you are just posting it to Facebook, Facebook is not going to, promote it to all your people unless you put some money behind it. So don't be afraid to put a couple bucks behind your market update or whatever other content that you are shooting. Moving on to good old snail mail, it is still relevant, even though we're in a day and age where, email, social media, texting, all that stuff. Don't forget, you've got a lot of folks that are maybe a little bit on the older side, that mail might be the only way that you can, regularly get in front of them besides a phone call. Also realize that if you can hit people in different channels, you're going to create this omnipresence effect where you're just going to be everywhere all the time. And that's ultimately what you're looking for as a real estate professional. So for us, what we do on our team, we're sending out a quarterly market update postcard that is very simple. We're just comparing the stats of Richmond City, Henrico County, Hanover, and Chesterfield, where they are in the current quarter versus where they were this time last year, and just doing a little compare contrast. Very simple postcard to execute. And then we're going to send that out a quarterly newsletter. Now, these get a little expensive because they're a little bit bigger piece. But once again, we're taking the KCM subscription. We're taking 2 of their blog articles and we're just sending that off to somebody on Fiverr for them to create a nice little quarterly newsletter for us. And we send those out to our peeps. And then last but not least, we want to party with our database. So twice a year, we are hosting a friends and family party is what we call it, where we go, we rent out a brewery, we rent out, a game hall and whatnot. And we just, invite everybody out to come have some food and drinks on us. Then that does get a little pricey. Those events usually run anywhere from $6,000 to $7,000. You can subsidize a little bit of those with your vendors, or hopefully you're on a team that's running these for you, but you can invite your people out, show them a little appreciation, mix and mingle with them. Also, they see other people at the events, so it just builds a little credibility in you of like, hey, they're not the only client that you have, but that other people trust you and your real estate expertise. And that, my friend, is our plan where, once again, we are not yet to the pinnacle of a 10% return on our database, but we are fortunate enough to have gotten to the place where half of our business is being generated by our database. So Hopefully this helps. I would encourage you once again to make sure that you are always keeping your foot down on the pedal of the #1 lead source. And that, my friends, is your database.